The divide of race has been America's constant curse. Get out the lunchbox of your dreams and bite into the sandwich of your heart and ride the Jim Crow car until it screams and, like an atom bomb, burst apart. There comes a time when people get tired of being stepped over by the iron feet of oppression. Discrimination is a hellhound that gnaws at Negroes in every waking moment of their lives to remind them that the lie of their inferiority is accepted as truth in this society dominating them.
100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination.
Today, racism survives through systems in our society.
Don't blame a cracker in Georgia for your injustices. The government is responsible for the injustices.
Whites usually think of racism as the prejudiced behaviors of individuals rather than as an institutionalized system of advantage benefiting whites in subtle as well as blatant ways. There is always someone who hasn't observed the housing discrimination in their community, who hasn't read the newspaper articles about documented racial bias in lending practices and well-known banks, who isn't aware of the racial tracking pattern at the local school, who hasn't seen the reports of rising incidents of racially motivated crimes in America. Cultural racism is like smog in the air. Sometimes it is so thick it is visible. Other times it is less apparent. But always, day in and day out, we are breathing it in. The system of advantage is perpetuated when we do not acknowledge its existence. Whites are taught to think of their lives as morally neutral, normative, and average, and also ideal, so that when we work to benefit others, this is seen as work which will allow them to be more like us. The complaint is not that the Negro has stood still these past 100 years, but that he has not been able to close the gap. To do this, he must move faster than others, not merely a pace with them. He must have legal and social protections, which others take for granted. This is not such a free country. One's life is not what one makes it. Many doors open for certain people through no virtues of their own.